Live. I got to shut that light off in the back. And good morning, everybody. If you're watching this is the rerun, you can skip ahead about 17 minutes. I'm just getting on here early. Getting ready to go here. And what have you. Morning, Waylon. Yay, vermectin. I remember it was about 5 years ago now when I started taking this stuff. I got kicked off of YouTube exclusively, like quite a few times, because I was doing ivermectin on YouTube. And now you see it advertised on social media that you can buy it over the counter now. Yoza. Hey, Waylon. April 24. Are you going to come down to Boxers and Beer? You're going to come sit with my wife. Leave your wife in the corner oogling guys and come sit with my wife and watch her for me here. But Boxers and Beer in Bismarck, April 24th. Morning, Josh. No, I stopped drinking for Lent, so no whiskey with it here. Mr. Bulgy, good morning. I don't even know when Lent's over. Shows how good a Catholic I am. April 13, 14, maybe? No, that's Palm Sunday. Easter is April 20th. Okay. I got a short month yet. So there you go. All right. What else is going on, YouTubers? What else is happening? Damn right, make it happen. What you should do, Waylon, is you should be one of the models. You should be one of the models and just surprise it. Don't even tell your wife that it's happening. And just kind of sneak back there, talk to Sarah over at the cancer center, get it all lined up, and be like one of the guys that comes out, just rip it off and say, bam, here I am, man. And I bet your wife would go ballistic. It'd be awesome. Let's see. Brian, good morning. JD Steel Challenge, you're headed up there. Good deal, Gene. Good. Morning, Wayne. Josh, right on. I was curious. Notice no more whiskey. Said to ask out of curiosity. Yeah. I try to do that every Lenten season. I try to do just so you see if I can, right? So don't want to scare anybody away. Come on now. Brian's headed there too. All right. Got all the guys headed up to the Steel Challenge. Oh, let's get Jamie on the phone here and ask him here. Shit, I don't even know his number. Let's see here. It's sad. I don't remember any numbers anymore. Yeah. There. I should probably get my other stuff ready here too, shouldn't I?
Yo.
Live on YouTube.
All right, buddy.
Don't get me kicked off.
I won't. I don't get us kicked off, so I certainly won't get you kicked off.
Don't get me kicked off the radio then.
No. How's it going this morning?
Good morning.
Yeah, morning to you. Yeah, this looks pretty sweet. I'm just talking about
I was sitting there thinking last night, I'm like, we haven't really broke down a whole lot of newer rifles or any of that stuff. We've been talking about legislative stuff. And
yeah,
I'm tired of that. I'm getting tired of it.
I'm not going to lie to you. I was hoping you didn't want to talk about that because I am too. I was just like, yeah, I hope Scott doesn't want
to.
Yeah. I mean, if something sneaks in there a little
right.
bit.
Yeah. Dave from Minnesota, good morning. Thanks for tuning in here. Let's see. Gene and Brian are headed your way for the steel challenge.
Awesome.
Gene says,
Awesome.
Jesus turned water into wine. I'm sure a whiskey chaser is okay.
Yeah. Hey, I got to keep my eyes straight before the shooting competition
There
here.
you go.
My buddy stopped over last night and had some garage beers, turned into a lot of them, and then some fireballs. So you know, this is what I needed to do before I'm trying to use iron sights with my old eyes.
Yeah. Eric Sabrazic, good morning, man. Appreciate it. Sausage and red eye in tow, JD, Brian says.
Awesome, man.
Man.
Looks good. He's got his own label on there and everything.
You know, I haven't made red eye for a lot of years. Jesse and I used to make it for a lot of weddings. And
awesome,
and we actually went around, and my whole thing was as a DJ for wedding dances. Of course, one of the best red eyes, I sampled a lot of them. And there was this, God, I think I was like 19, 20 years old.
Yeah.
Right. And I take that back. I was at least 21. But anyway, I was doing this dance for Russ Hummelvig. He married a gal up by Zap. And I zipped a Zap, and I'm sitting there playing this, and I think it was her grandma. I'm not sure, but anyway, she was like 90 years old lady, right?
Yep.
And I tasted that, and she heard that I made red eye, and I was going around because I'm growing up where we did. I mean, all the Germans did red eye. I mean, that's what we did. And this lady came, and she says, "Here's my recipe." And she gave me her recipe to do many versions, whether it's, you know, the original anise flavored or apple or whatever it was. She had all of them, and she had the list here, and I made that, and it was really, really good. Then I was in Bismarck traveling to a tournament to go fight somewhere. I think I was headed to Fargo, or maybe I was coming back. I can't remember, but in the old mall up north of Bismarck there. Can't remember. Gateway Mall. There used to be like a burger joint in there for a short time. I can't remember if that was
Rockin' 50.
There you go. There you go. See,
okay.
All right. So I'm sitting there like 2:00 in the afternoon. There's a couple old gentlemen in the corner, and they start talking about red eye and how they smooth it out. So they gave me their secret. And I have not done a batch of this in a long time, but I do have the last batch I think I did is still downstairs aging. I have root beer, apple pie, anise flavored, and then I have a bottle saved from the very last wedding dance I ever did. So
you're giving me good reasons to come down there and shoot prairie dogs and hang out with
buddy,
you for a weekend.
There's going to be a strainer involved because the corks that I used are so damn old, and I didn't tip the bottles, so it kept the cork dry or moistened. That the cork's going to break, but we're going to filter the cork out of there.
Awesome.
I don't think the cork is what we're going to have to worry about. Awesome. You just sent me the picture of it here. Always on target red eye.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a Crown Royal bottle, for crying out loud.
It's a Crown Water bottle.
Crown Water bottle.
Yeah, Brian made me something there when we did I think it was that first drinks with the 701. I thought it was red eye, but it wasn't red eye. It was apple. Is it cinnamon apple pie or something he made me?
But you can do that in red eye form.
Maybe that's what
it was. Apple pie red eye was like the biggest one that everybody wanted us to make them. So
yeah. It I think I ended up drinking most of it during the show we did there. So
he said it was just cinnamon red eye.
Okay, it was good. I thoroughly enjoyed it, no doubt.
Yeah.
What was that? No, you gave me that wasn't red eye when I stayed over that one. No, that was Pendleton apple juice.
Yeah, that was just morning apple juice. I do that to everybody that stays. And if we get a little bit, so Master John was one of the first ones. He stayed here one night. He got a little liquored up, had a lot of fun here at the ranch. And the next morning, I go and wake him up, and I put it in a juice glass. I said, "Here, this will help you with the hangover." And he grabs it and he just chugs it down. He's like, "That's pure whiskey." And I'm like, "Yep."
I sampled it a little bit, and I was like, "Oh!" And you were laughing, and I was like, "Drink it up, come on."
Well,
okay.
The nice thing about him is he doesn't question me. He just trusts me, and he just downs it. You smelled it. You're like, "I did apple juice."
What was that you gave me when I first met you in person there at B-Dub's parking lot? That was some of your homemade stuff, wasn't it?
Probably. I can't remember, man. That was a long time ago.
It was. I
Christ, that's coming
remember
on 20
pulled up
years,
there.
man.
Yeah,
Jeez.
I get out and then Scott introduced himself and me to him, and then he pulled out a jug of something, and we had a pull of it right in the parking lot before we went in.
Station's coming up at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock Central Time on Mark. 6 minutes to showtime. All right, let's get to some of these here. Josh says, I got some apple pie that I made for a buddy's wedding 4 years ago. It gets better every year it does. Yeah, it smoothens out, but the alcohol is still the same. It's great. Tim says, are these recipes secret or can they be shared? I'm going to have to share them someday. So I got to find them again. I had a whole notebook full of these things. And
Yep.
I think I put them on actual recipe cards, and I think my wife has them in the recipe. When my mom passed, before she passed, she gave us her old recipe thingy,
Yep.
and
Yep.
it is hilarious watching my mom. So like everything's German, like well, she writes it in English, but there's some German stuff in there, and
Oh yeah.
she's like in an eggshell full of whiskey, and and a handful of this, and like if you ever met my mom's hands were huge,
Really?
and my wife is like an eggshell. Is that like did she just like crack the top of the egg and use a whole eggshell, or is it half an eggshell? Or I'm like, I don't know. I
Like a
don't
goose egg or a chicken egg, right?
or an ostrich eggshell. I don't know what's going on here. But anyway, I'll see if I can find those recipes. When I should do a whole. I'm actually going to buy a still, and
Yeah.
I'm a friend of mine and I were going to buy one together and do some Slope County, some choke cherries and some yucca. We're going to try to do yucca and some locally grown stuff here.
Get yourself a Dodge Charger and paint it orange then when you're transporting it around.
My neighbor has the General Lee.
No way.
This guy,
That's awesome.
like the most secluded person in the world, and he's got like 70 hot rods over there, and he built himself the General Lee. And
Sweet.
it is exactly, and he runs it up and down the gravel just like the Duke boys would have. He's all like,
I love it.
I'm gonna go put some hay up today. I got to drive out to the field, and he's like, just hammer down. I mean, brand new paint job, the whole works here.
Sweet.
All right, we're gonna have to talk about Red Eye is beginning of the show here a little bit because I'm saving some of these texts for this anyway here.
I'm down. I love it.
Waylon says his dad has a couple bottles from his wedding back in 2004. Or must be Clay says morning, or is that you?
Nope. When I go on, it's 701 Nation. Clay usually uses
it. Morning, Clay.
701.
Brian says, Tim, the only secret is patience. Caramelized sugar can go black sugar very quick. Yeah, if you're gonna do the burnt sugar form, yeah, we made buckets, 5-gallon buckets of that Red Eye many times.
Wow.
Didn't even clean the bucket out on the first run, I don't think. It was for the same guy's wedding.
I know my wife's uncle made a bunch for our wedding down in Linton, Ted Bozard, man. That was some good stuff.
You get into that Strasburg down all the way to like McLaughlin, South Dakota, you're talking Red Eye country, boys.
Oh yeah.
That's where it is here. Somebody calls it Tonka juice. Nice.
Is that Tonka or just Tonka? Like
just the toy Tonka,
yeah. Do they still make those?
Yes, because every once in a while you will see a semi on the interstate running empty, and they will strap a little toy Tonka truck in the middle of their trailer.
That's awesome.
Am I the only one that's ever seen this?
I've never seen that. I'd get a good kick out of it.
We're wasting all our good interview stuff here before the show starts. Couple minutes though, 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm. I got the heat on in my man room down here. I think I'm gonna have to turn it off. Man, that's hot in here.
We got cool down here. It's like feels like 16 above here at the ranch here. I had a long day calving yesterday, so
I saw that you had that picture there. Clay said his were dropping already too. So
I am shooting so many coyotes. Yesterday, I seen 5, shot 3 of them. The farthest shot was 120 yards.
Wow.
They're just not
During
even.
daylight?
Like right away in the morning. Yeah.
Man. Yeah, I know our dad's neighbor went over to a rancher's place. They called him over with his thermal, and I think he said he shot 11 of them right out of the yard there in like 2 hours. Right.
Well, they took that away from me here. 60 seconds, radio station, 60 seconds. They March 15th was the end of thermal, so
dang. Wow, this was a while ago.
Yeah.
So
I am forced to protect them only during daylight hours.
That is ridiculous. I can't, it's hard to wrap your mind. And maybe who ruled on that one? Judge Boasberg or what?
I don't know. So they put it in a proclamation years ago.
If you don't know who that is, that's that judge who keeps reversing Trump's orders.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. I don't pay attention to that stuff much. All right. Let's see. 20 seconds on Mark. I'm going to turn you down there, Jamie. Stand by. Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to this Saturday edition of Dakota Prairie Outdoors. I'm your host, Scott Bachmeyer, here to go across the Dakota Territory on great radio stations like K-Fire 550 out of Bismarck, celebrating 100 years in the radio business this year. Congratulations here. KCJB up in Minot. We have the Western Edge and KLTC Dickinson. KOLY, our great station down in Mobridge area. And, of course, the capital city in Pierce, South Dakota, KGFX. Good morning to all everybody across the Dakota Territory and 6 states and a couple Canadian provinces. Good to have you along as well. This morning, we are meeting up with Jamie Breck, the host of co-host, I don't know what you call yourself, 701 Nation, Guns in the 701, all that kind of different action here. And I don't know what you go by. Are you professional rifle tester, ammunition tester, or whatever you call yourself? Right? I don't know.
Yeah, semi-pro probably, right? Semi-pro. Well, about as pro as you are at it, really.
Well, I think you're, you got ammo sponsors and gun sponsors. I think you're a little bit more on the pro side than I am. Yeah.
Wow, just gun, not ammo. I'd love to have an ammo sponsor, but
that could work. Talk to Black Hills, the Black Hills Ammo. They have some good stuff down there in the Sturgis area.
I'm counting. I was kind of counting on Clay with all his old NRA connections to hook us up. He's got a lot of irons in the fire.
Yeah.
I did test a few like off the wall brands and did some testing and then tagged them and emailed them about it, but I don't know, they weren't interested. To be honest, the one of them didn't shoot very good, so they're probably like, yeah.
So there's your problem. If you're going to find an ammo sponsor and they do say yes, that is the only ammo you can use, buddy. You know that.
Yep, I'm fine with that.
Even if it's not great shooting, you'd be okay with that?
No, it has to. I mean, it has to shoot. It has to shoot good and do the job. But, the thing is, it's hard to find one ammo that shoots good in every rifle.
It is. So the only reason I got into a lot of Hornady ammunition is because when Ron Colburn used to own Savage, and he used to come out every year and shoot prairie dogs, and we had a blast, and he would literally ship a pallet of ammunition to me, and what they didn't shoot up, he would leave for me. So that's how I got into the Hornady stuff. Yeah. And I use that for 22-250, a little bit on the 223. I'm running low on that stuff. And for my 6.5 Creed. Those are the ones I use Hornady for. But like my 28 Nosler, that's a trophy. Yep. That's going to be different. I think my 223, I think somebody brought me a whole bunch of boxes of like Fiocchi, I think it is, right? I use quite a bit of that stuff.
Yeah, Fiocchi's good ammo.
So anyway, I mean, there's a lot of different brands all around the area, but I kind of have a cornucopia, as you could say, of ammo in my refrigerator. So.
I did see your pile of 223 when I was out there a couple years ago. It's good. I like seeing that. A lot of people want to get a lot of guns and stockpile. Scott, I'm to the point where I'd rather just stockpile ammo. I think I've got plenty of rifles, and handguns. I mean, if I win one or something, I'd be more
Right.
than happy to.
Right.
But as far as buying one, or it's what I use now pretty much is a rifle our sponsor made us. So,
Yeah. So I looked at around every corner of my house and in my gun safe, and I'm like, it's time to get rid of the stuff that I could afford back in my like 20s.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I mean, I have 870 Remingtons, right? I mean, I got plenty of them.
Yeah.
I mean, that was, I don't know if I'll get rid of the very first shotgun I ever bought or not, but I mean, the Savage Access rifles and, but on the other hand, it's nice to have one of those just, on a wheeler or in your pickup or it's bouncing around. It's not like a $2,000-$3,000 rifle getting shucking around, right?
Right.
That's kind of nice to have that too. So I don't know. If anybody's looking at getting into some shotguns or rifles of maybe not expensive quality, hit me up because then I can go and buy one of these that we're going to talk about here shortly on the next segment.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah. So we're going to be talking today on the show here, not only ammunition, but found an article on Field and Stream. And it goes through, I mean, they got the best lightweight rifle, the best price point rifle, the best long range rifle. And we're going to go through these and discuss them a little bit here today and see where we kind of stand on them. Give them our opinion on it because, some of these I have shot, some of them I've owned, and some of them I've owned and sold because I didn't care for them. And we'll see what's going on. So Eric says, keep them all. Just buy more guns is his thought. Don't sell any of them.
He's kind of like Clay's theory there. And I did sell. At one point, Scott, I think I had like 10 or 12 AR-15s in different varying calibers.
Really? Okay.
I mean, most of them just sat there, I think maybe it was when Obama's second term. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna clean some of these out. And I haven't looked back. I haven't regretted that decision. I got more than I paid for them, and of course I did a lot of stuff to them. But yeah, like I said, I'm getting to be more of a one gun guy. The older I get, to use one gun all the time.
So first and foremost here, Jay says, need anything from Bismarck, I'll let you know there, buddy. Berg's AI service will be headed to the central part of the North Dakota state area today. So if you need anything, let them know. Berg's AI service. See what we can do. What is that? What's that?
What's AI artificial?
It is the original AI, artificial insemination, not artificial intelligence, okay? Although when Jay and I get together, there is some artificial intelligence between us two. There's no doubt about that. No doubt about that. But anyway, we're all getting closer to the first break here, and we were discussing this just to throw it out. And we'll get into the guns here shortly, but before we got on, and we're doing a little bit on the YouTube channel side of things, and thanks for all my YouTube subscribers. I appreciate you guys. I was telling you that every once in a while we're discussing about making red eye. For weddings, right? And is that even done anymore? And you said it is still done. There's still people making red eye. I told you that Jesse and we used to make a lot of it for weddings. I remember growing up. I remember all the German weddings I ever went to. I had red eye or some form of red eye back then. It was a way to celebrate for a very cheap cost, right? Yeah, I mean that's the way it was. But
it was good.
I think the original stuff, I don't know which way you pronounce it, anise or anise flavored, because we pronounced it different than I've heard everybody else say it. And so I'm going with the anise flavored. But anyway, that was kind of what everybody had back then. Now you got apple pie. You can make cinnamon. You can make apple pie cinnamon. I made a lot of root beer. I did a lot of that stuff, and that was pretty good. So anyway, but then I asked if anybody if you see a semi trailer running down the road, if it's a flatbed and they're running empty, they sometimes have a Tonka truck strapped across the back of it. And I got 7 text messages and messages that said, yes, the other people do see this. I didn't know if I was the only one that ever seen this.
A trucker's going to be, I know a guy who's running a truck over the road. He's going to be out at the shooting competition today. He's a long range shooter as well, but challenge, not a competition. I'm going to ask him if he ever does that. He might be listening, Dave.
I got a message that says that they seen somebody use one of the, remember those big wheels?
Yeah.
Right? I never had one as a
Yeah.
kid, but they're the little kids' big wheels. They say some people strap one of those on there when they're running on the road too.
I
And
didn't either. I always wanted one, but never did have one.
yeah, rumor has it that started in like some of these California type states that have regulations. You can't run empty. You have to have a full load when you're doing that. But anyway, we'll get into that here. We'll have more coming up here. Jamie's my guest here. We're going to get into start talking about some of the best guns according to Field and Stream and break their list down here a little bit. And that's all around the corner right here on Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition. Back after these.
Agriculture is a community of hard work, passion, optimism for the future, and a commitment to the livestock and land. For over 80 years, Dakota Community Bank and Trust has been a leader in ag financing. Our local lending team knows the industry and the challenges, from droughts to winter blizzards. Stop by one of our branches today in your work boots or cowboy boots. You're always welcome.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
Equal housing lender.
There's a reason you're seeing more Red Angus cattle in the country. Great mama cows, high weaning weights, and easy keepers. With a family that bases their entire operation on faith, honesty, and trust. You can see those values in their 30-plus years in the Red Angus breed. Schriefer Red Angus, the breed that generates a positive return on investment. SchrieferRedAngus.com. Piper's Auction and Realty would like to invite you to their next round of equipment sales. The Harmon Farm Retirement Auction in Carrington, North Dakota on April 10th. The Central Dakota Spring 2025 Equipment Sale in Steele, North Dakota, April 15th. The Lee Farm Retirement Auction, Berthold, North Dakota, April 10th. And the Myers Estate Equipment Auction in Mandan, April 25th. For more information and a full list of auctions, go to Pifers.com. Bowman Livestock Marketing, serving the tri-state area for all of your livestock marketing needs. Eastern Montana, North Dakota, and South Dakota. You can be sure of great care for your cattle and top price at sale time. Call Austin Snook at 307-290-2161. That's 307-290-2161 for more information or just to talk cattle markets. You can also find them on Facebook and go to their website, bowmanlivestockmarketing.com. Medicine Rocks Angus Ranch and Spring Angus out of Ekalaka, Montana remind you about their sale coming up April 25th, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, Bowman Livestock Market, Bowman, North Dakota. Selling 75 head of bulls featuring Sons of Wolverine, Summit, Rimfire, Medrock, Beaver Creek, and many more. Medicine Rocks and also Spring Angus invite you to their annual sale, April 25th, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, Bowman Livestock Market, Bowman, North Dakota. Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy. MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Mo Rest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer. Piper's Auction and Realty would like to invite you to their next round of equipment sales. The Harmon Farm Retirement Auction in Carrington, North Dakota on April 10th. The Central Dakota Spring 2025 Equipment Sale in Steele, North Dakota, April 15th. The Lee Farm Retirement Auction, Berthold, North Dakota, April 10th. And the Myers Estate Equipment Auction in Mandan, April 25th. For more information and a full list of auctions, go to Pifers.com. Bowman Livestock Marketing, serving the tri-state area for all of your livestock marketing needs. Eastern Montana, North Dakota, and South Dakota. You can be sure of great care for your cattle and top price at sale time. Call Austin Snook at 307-290-2161. That's 307-290-2161 for more information or just to talk cattle markets. You can also find them on Facebook and go to their website, bowmanlivestockmarketing.com. Western Frontier Insurance, agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or talking animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered with price in mind. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, Wilton, Bowman, and Hettinger.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. Dakota Prairie Outdoor Saturday edition. Good to be around here. 2 decades strong, working on 3, folks. Music right there from Benny Polson's band here. The Breaking 8 new music available on Apple. What is that? Apple Tunes, iTunes? What is it?
iTunes, I think.
iTunes,
Yep,
okay.
I think, yeah.
He's a good guy. He offered he was going to come down one of these weekends. We're going to try to get together. I got a lot of stuff going on. He's got a television show that's across the Dakota Territory, and it's looking pretty good. So might be on that one there, Jamie. So
Sweet.
yeah.
Sweet. Well, he played at the Governor's Ball there, Clay and I.
Yeah.
It sounded great there, too. It sounded
Yeah.
real good.
Oh man. So he did a Chris Ledoux tribute thing quite a few years ago. And man, it was fun. That was a lot of fun. So
Awesome, man.
ran all over the place to watch him. All right. So we finished up talking a little bit about Red Eye on our first break.
Yep.
Let me get to some of the text messages because that must have spurred something across the Dakota Territory. It must be. It's like, okay, when was the last time you ever heard of a radio program discussing Red Eye? Right.
It's fun, man. I like it.
But Dave from Minnesota, who's listening here, I appreciate you guys over on the Minnesota side. He said, used to work for my cousins on a show string dairy cows. When the show was over, they had a recipe. They called it Tonka juice. First one was a little tough, but after that, it started tasting good. All right.
I like the name.
Well, it shows here that he shared a recipe, but it did not download. So, hey, share your recipes. I'd be more than happy to have those.
Yeah.
And another one comes in. He says, holy moly, best red eye at a classmate's wedding in Beulah, 1977. Drove back to Bismarck, 2 a.m. in a blizzard to the dorm. I don't recommend doing this.
There you go, Mercer County, baby.
So it's a good segue, though. So he says, I bought an inexpensive TC Compass in a 6.5 Creed for a tractor gun, which turned into a tack driver. Thompson Center closed down, but I saw a YouTube video that someone bought all the equipment and inventory to start up again. Have we heard anything about that? What do you think?
Yeah, Greg Ritz bought it. He's got a outdoor hunting show. I can't think of the name of it, but yeah, he did buy TC out, and then they're cranking back up again. Man, I wish
really?
I mean, yeah, Greg. I'm sure his name's Greg Ritz. Guy, I don't know, guy probably our age. Looks like he hits the gym a lot. He's a pretty buffed out dude, and yeah, he's he bought it out, and they're doing it. Actually, my buddy John, who I got into hunting, first deer rifle he got, it was a Thompson Center. It was I think it was a Venture, maybe the cheaper model, but it had you got $100 rebate from Bud's Guns or something, and he still got it. It's a weather shield on it, man. He dropped some huge mule deer with it, and it is a good shooting rifle. It usually shoots about an inch. Still going strong with it. He's just going to keep using it. So yeah, TC's coming back.
Okay. All right. Let's go through. So I found this on Field and Stream last night. Field and Stream website, or you can find it on the magazine side of things too. Waylon Turnus' Hunt Masters, I believe, is the show you're talking about, Jamie.
Yes, sir, Waylon.
Okay.
That's it. Thanks, buddy.
All right. Okay. So Field and Stream went through the best of on some rifles. And what we're going to do is let's just go through these, Jamie. We'll talk a little bit about them here. And so the first one here is the best lightweight rifle, the Bergera MG Light. And it comes in 308, 6.5, 6.5 PRC, and 300 Win Mag. And, the Bergera, they've only been out I've only seen them here in the last 5 years. Is it kind of a newer company?
Yeah, I would consider them newer, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
And yeah, I've shot a few of them. In fact, the friends we're going out to shoot at today, he has it's a B14, the 22-250. I see this one's a chassis rifle.
Yeah.
But he's got to be. I gotta say, it's kind of touch and go on that thing. Whether one day it'll shoot real good and the next day not. So I don't. I'm not too sure that 22-250, but I can't remember the other one I got. I think it was a 6.5 Creed. Of course, that shot good. You barely shoot at something that's 6.5 Creed that doesn't shoot good in my opinion. But
right.
yeah, this thing 6.8. It looks like it looks like it's shooting targets at a mile just sitting there, right?
It looks good, doesn't it? I like the way that looks because, I've been having such a big issue with coyotes in my calving pastures right now. Fish and Wildlife Service, they're working on one pasture. In the last 3 weeks, Jamie, I've shot 29 coyotes in one pasture.
Wow.
Right? Okay.
Wow.
And like I told you yesterday, I had a 3-pack. I had a 5-pack, but I only got 3 out of it. But they're not scared, right? I mean, they're just like standing 100, 120 yards. I did shoot one. I know people probably, they're like, maybe not believe in me, but I did make my longest confirmed coyote kill. Was it about a week ago I sent you a snap?
Yeah, you did. Yep. Yeah, you did.
1,024 yards, I believe it was. And it was just a poke and a hope at that point here, but I have my rifle set up for that reason. And but I had to take the shot. He was just standing there, right?
Hey, I mean, you got the skill and you got the rifle to do it by all means, and obviously you proved both of those.
I don't know. Even the sun shines on a bear, once in a while. Okay?
Well, you know what? Maybe so, Scott, but you still made the shot. So.
Yeah.
Well,
all right.
Yeah. This one few more. This Beargar, I see it's got the carbon fiber wrap barrel.
Yep.
6.8. That is light. 6.8 pounds.
6.8 pounds is really light. Yeah.
That's what your bare bones. You buy an AR-15 with nothing on it. That's what an AR-15 weighs too. So,
yeah.
Looks pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. I don't know what it says. The con on it is the price, which they don't list, but I would imagine
exactly
she's probably $3,000, $3,500 something.
I'm not going to say what any of these cost because at this point, if you're looking at getting into a good rifle, you're gonna pay up a little bit. I mean, not always, but you're gonna more than 10 years ago, right?
Well, something cool on this too, I see it's got a folding stock, so you can fold it out of the way. Like if you're hiking somewhere, I mean, that does make it handy when you can shorten it up.
Yeah, or get out of the pickup fast type of rifle.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Cool.
The next one is the same budget. The best budget rifle is the Bergara B14 HMR. This one, never seen this one before. This one I have not seen.
This is a rifle my buddy has that I shot in 22-250. I told you, but the 6.5 Creed one that I shot, and another friend shoots great. But yeah, it looks nice, real nice, feels good in the hands, and maybe it's just a certain type of ammo. I'd have to ask Axe if he's tried anything else, but yeah, it's heavy sucker, right? 9.5 to 9.9 pounds. That's a heavy gun, really.
For bare bones, it starts out pretty heavy. Yeah.
It honestly, it doesn't feel that heavy when I held it, but here 22-250 Creed. Oh, it's got all the PRCs going here too.
Yeah.
And it's like, even it says on the cons a bit on it. No ARCA rail. See, do you know what these ARCA rails are, Scott? I mean, I've seen them. I guess
I've seen them. I'm not real big on those. No, I'm not sure exactly what.
I mean, everybody talks about these long range guys. They're always talking about, are you watching shooting or hunting? So, yeah, it's got the ARCA rail down. Okay, I guess I'm old school. I still got the knob, and then I hook on the old Harris bipod.
Oh, geez. No. I like my Picatinny rails. I like those. Those are pretty. I got to look into the ARCAs though. So let's do one more really quick here before our bottom of the hour break here. Best for competition is the Daniels Defense Delta 5 Pro. And the Daniels Defense has been around for a while now, and it seems like a lot of people like these. What I like is the adjustable cheek pad on this one.
Yeah, does that have a folding stock too? It almost looks like it on the picture. I'm not sure, but
don't think so, but it possibly could be.
Yeah, and this is a chassis rifle. Looks like got the nice detachable mag. You got cheek piece on there. Yeah, DD got into making bolt actions here a few years ago as well, and this thing looks 26-inch barrel. I mean, that's a battleship barrel on that sucker.
Yeah.
And it only comes in 3 chamberings, 308, 6.5, and 6mm Creed. So at 26, wow, that's long, and it's heavy, 11.5 pounds. But Yeah, I would say if you're looking for a competition gun to shoot long range,
Well,
this thing looks awesome.
So here's the problem with my rifle that I'm shooting, my Savage 110 right now, the 6.5 Creed. It's a 26-inch barrel with a 9-inch suppressor on it. It is
Yeah.
not getting out of the pickup friendly, but man, it can reach out and touch some things. So, but hey, we'll cover a few more of these. We got some text messages asking about rifles here, so we'll get all that and more if you want to join in. 888-9 Dakota. That's 888-932-5682, or you can text me on my cell phone 701-425-6651. Or live chat through the YouTube channel. More Dakota Prairie Outdoors coming up right after these messages.
Agriculture is a community of hard work, passion, optimism for the future, and a commitment to the livestock and land. For over 80 years, Dakota Community Bank and Trust has been a leader in ag financing. Our local lending team knows the industry and the challenges, from droughts to winter blizzards. Stop by one of our branches today in your work boots or cowboy boots. You're always welcome.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
Equal housing lender.
There's a reason you're seeing more Red Angus cattle in the country. Great mama cows, high weaning weights, and easy keepers. With a family that bases their entire operation on faith, honesty, and trust. You can see those values in their 30-plus years in the Red Angus breed. Schriefer Red Angus, the breed that generates a positive return on investment. SchrieferRedAngus.com. Piper's Auction and Realty would like to invite you to their next round of equipment sales. The Harmon Farm Retirement Auction in Carrington, North Dakota on April 10th. The Central Dakota Spring 2025 Equipment Sale in Steele, North Dakota, April 15th. The Lee Farm Retirement Auction, Berthold, North Dakota, April 10th. And the Myers Estate Equipment Auction in Mandan, April 25th. For more information and a full list of auctions, go to Pifers.com. Bowman Livestock Marketing, serving the tri-state area for all of your livestock marketing needs. Eastern Montana, North Dakota, and South Dakota. You can be sure of great care for your cattle and top price at sale time. Call Austin Snook at 307-290-2161. That's 307-290-2161 for more information or just to talk cattle markets. You can also find them on Facebook and go to their website, BowmanLivestockMarketing.com. Medicine Rocks Angus Ranch and Spring Angus out of Ekalaka, Montana remind you about their sale coming up April 25th, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, Bowman Livestock Market, Bowman, North Dakota. Selling 75 head of bulls featuring Sons of Wolverine, Summit, Rimfire, Medrock, Beaver Creek, and many more. Medicine Rocks and also Spring Angus invite you to their annual sale, April 25th, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, Bowman Livestock Market, Bowman, North Dakota. Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy. MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Morest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer. Piper's Auction and Realty would like to invite you to their next round of equipment sales. The Harmon Farm Retirement Auction in Carrington, North Dakota on April 10th. The Central Dakota Spring 2025 Equipment Sale in Steele, North Dakota, April 15th. The Lee Farm Retirement Auction, Berthold, North Dakota, April 10th. And the Myers Estate Equipment Auction in Mandan, April 25th. For more information and a full list of auctions, go to Pifers.com. Bowman Livestock Marketing, serving the tri-state area for all of your livestock marketing needs. Eastern Montana, North Dakota, and South Dakota. You can be sure of great care for your cattle and top price at sale time. Call Austin Snook at 307-290-2161. That's 307-290-2161 for more information or just to talk cattle markets. You can also find them on Facebook and go to their website, bowmanlivestockmarketing.com. Western Frontier Insurance, agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or talking animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered with price in mind. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, Wilton, Bowman, and Hettinger.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. Second half of the program on Dakota Prairie Outdoors. Good to have you along here today. Scott Bachmeyer with you here on another beautiful Saturday. We need some rain in the country. Seen some showers have crossed over in some areas, but we definitely need the rest of the territory to get some. Jamie Brecht is my guest here. We're talking rifles and taking questions. Now, Jay Berg's AI, as he's heading to Bismarck, see, he can stop in and pick up one of these rifles. His question was, what is the best coyote rifle to pack on horseback? His son is packing to try to get a problem coyote during calving. His father-in-law just came short of roping one the other day off his horse. And he says he does have a 22 Hornet with a 17-inch barrel suppressed. Soon as he gets it sighted in, that one's going with him. And but anyway, what would you recommend? I mean, you got to remember it can't be overly thick and it can't be overly long when you're packing it on horseback.
Man, Scott, you're definitely a horseman. I used to be a horseman when I was younger, but it sounds like he's got the right thing going there to me. You know, they do make some 223 lighter rifles. I know CZ makes it's called a backpacker or something like that. That looks pretty sweet for something like that. But I think he's onto something right there with that 22 Hornet for carrying a light rifle.
I think the 22 Hornet would be good. The 17, I think, is just too light. But I'm also not against the old standby of the lever action 30-30, but you can find the lever action 223s and you can find them in a lot of different, but that slim, the lever actions are a little bit more slim.
You bet.
You can still put a scope on them. You can still suppress them. And I just think that, that would be easier, especially when you're sliding it into your sheath like that. So,
that's a great recommend. Like Henry makes that one now, the 223 Supreme, and then they got the Long Ranger too, and then different calibers. You're right, that would fit in the scabbard perfect on a horse.
Yeah, I think that would be it. But that whole get as skinny as you can, but it's still those lever actions are heavy rifles. It's, right. I mean, you're not gonna be Josh says get the compact Ruger American, Jay. So there's another one you can look at.
Perfect. I have one. Great rifle.
Yeah. Jay just texted they also have a 204 that's threaded for suppressed, and that would be a good one too. I shot 204 forever, and until I realized that I can shoot further with a lot heavier ballistic coefficient on some ammunition. So
yeah, the 204 kind of disappearing, and man, I've been on some prairie dog towns with guys, and that thing is just devastation on prairie dogs. But yeah, I hardly see anybody who shoots that anymore.
Yeah. Let's see here. People are still asking for red eye recipes. Not yet.
Can't blame them.
Another text comes in here from Montana. It says, any thoughts on the Proof Research Elevation and Elevation Master and Wilson Combat's Nula rifles? I've never heard of Nula rifles.
I haven't either. Proof Research for sure. I mean, everything I've ever seen or read about Proof Research barrels is they're top notch. So you can't go wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
they're made in Montana. They're up north. They're not made somewhere on the East Coast or in California or something. I like to keep, Montana. I consider that local. So yeah, get on it.
I still have a brand new Montana Extreme in the box that I've not set up for anything yet. So,
really?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. I mean,
you still never shot that nice AR the guy built for you there.
No, I haven't shot that either. No. There's so many things I need to set up and do, right?
I got to come down and we just got to take half a day and blast all the guns you haven't shot yet.
Yeah, I'll have you clean them all then. Mark Tree for Red Angus says, I think you guys should have a swap shop on air once in a while.
Yeah, that'd be.
Yeah, guy could
That's
do
a
that.
good idea. Yeah, firearm, and firearm.
I
Yeah, we can come up with a name.
Don't know if some of the owners of the radio stations would allow that, though. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that's an iHeart thumbs up on that one. I'm not sure on that.
Well, you know what, Clay and I got we got the restream. We can go on X and Rumble and do it and tell everybody to come on there. They don't care. So
I remember working radio way back. Here I am saying that back in the day, right? I remember that clearly. I did a station up in, I think it was Dickinson. We did a swap meet, and I mean there must have been 20 guys with guns on there, and back then it was okay. It was like, yeah, no problem. In the 90s, not a worry here. Let's see here. Seekins seems to be a very popular rifle company right now. I would like each of your thoughts on them. Also, which rifle companies have the best selection of left-handed rifles, which is coming up in our list here. But Seekins.
Yeah, Seekins Precision, never shot any. I've definitely had them in my hands. They feel great. To me, a Seekins is, man, it's like one of them guns, like where you point your finger, just like you point it feels so natural.
Yeah. And
they're just buttery smooth action. They're pretty much custom made guns you can buy over the counter there. And yeah, I got a high opinion of Seekins. They make bolt actions and AR-15 style rifles, 243s and the 308 and 6.5, and everything's in 223. So yeah, Seekins, I think Seekins are great rifles, good looking rifles too.
Good. They're good advice there. Gene says here, you can't say scope and suppressed in the same sentence when referring to lever action rifles. It's a sin.
I don't know, Gene. Man, you see them guys testing out those, like I said, those Henry Supremes in 223 and 300 black. That thing is so quiet, zero recoil, and man, I would love to try that out, a suppressed lever action there with a scope, and it looks awesome to me. It's super quiet.
But you got your traditional guys. They want their lever action with the iron sights unsuppressed, man. I mean, that's what they want.
That's why we're doing it today. We're testing the eyeballs out in the iron sights. So.
Let's see here. Wayne's scoring
what
some
the guys
bucks
you
on
want to talk about left-handed?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry,
yeah. So one of these here, I'm just making sure I'm going through all my list here. So
go ahead and hit those, and then we'll get the left-handed thing.
Well, it says the best extreme long-range rifle, according to Field and Stream, is the Accuracy International AXSR. Never heard of this brand.
I mean, I've heard of it. I've never so much as seen an Accuracy International. I know their magazines are really popular. The dropout magazines box are really popular, but as far as me ever even putting my hands on one or seeing one, I never have. So I'm gonna have to take Field and Stream's. I'm gonna take their advice on this one.
The best crossover rifle, they say, is the Savage 110 Magpul Hunter, and this one is kind of a shorter looking one here, 18-inch barrel on this one.
Yeah, and they're going, I mean, long range with, I guess long range is relative to what you think, but an 18-inch barrel for a long range rifle, I'm even in the calibers, they got it in 6.5 Creed right here.
And a 308,
and Dryden Ulhoff. We were talking German earlier, so I threw that in. 18-inch barrel of the 308, even a Creed, I mean, you're losing so much velocity. I mean, for sure, at like 600, you're going to be golden. And to me, it's got like long range. To me, personally, it starts at probably 400, 500 yards, I think, in my opinion.
Okay.
It's not that long, but I mean, long range with, especially in hunting for like deer or something. If it's at 400, I want a lighter wind. Yeah, can I make that shot in the wind? I certainly can, but I'd be a lot more comfortable if the wind's 10 and under at that range.
Now, for Jay watching for packing on a horse, granted, this is a bolt action, so it's going to be a little bit thicker, with the lever hanging.
It ain't that heavy, though.
But for 18-inch on a 6.5 or a 308 out in the calving pasture, it's a short enough barrel you can throw a suppressor on it and still have a nice get it out of your scabbard really quick type of rifle. So this one would be, if you're looking for a newer style one, this would definitely be one that I'd look into.
I would be thinking more along like for a bolt action on your horse. That one you got at that Wolf gun auction here years ago.
Oh yeah, I haven't set that one up yet either.
Oh my gosh, Scott! Yeah, that's nice. And you got like a 10-round drop mag on that, and it's carbon fiber barrel. That thing was really light. Now it came in Creed. What is that? Like? I was an 18 or 20-inch barrel, right? An 18,
I thought it was 20 or 22 because the reason I bought this one is because I wanted to set up a lighter coyote tournament rifle,
It
and
is light.
I'm waiting to get the thumbs up in my own mind to buy the new Burris Eliminator 6 and put on that one. I want to if I'm going to set it up, I'm going to set it up with the newest one, but I also would like to set that same rifle up with the Pulsar XP60 thermal scope. But
awesome, man.
Wants and needs, man, right? Wants and needs.
Right.
Go to the next one here. The best for NRL Hunter. What's NRL stand for?
You know what? I was just going to ask you what NRL is.
Yeah, the Springfield 2020 Waypoint.
And I have seen these, and man, I've always been intrigued by it. Yeah, these are sweet rifles too. And everything I've seen, I've watched some videos and read articles about guys shooting them, and they definitely live up. They got a 3/4 MOA guarantee. They live up to that from what I've seen. You can get them. They got 2 barrel options too, as I recall. Just a stainless steel and then a carbon fiber wrapped one. Oh yeah, I got the weight. So the carbon fiber wrapped one's going to go 6.9, and the steel is 7 pounds 11 ounces. So, I mean, if you're going to spend that kind of money, you might as well get to spend a little more and get that carbon fiber wrap. As far as I'm concerned.
Got a text message comes in. It says Wilson Combat purchased Melvin Forbes rifle design. One's called the new ultralight rifle and put a new age twist on them. Excellent bolt guns at around 5.5 pounds. So there's another.
Sweet.
Yeah, I didn't know they did that either.
Sweet. Yeah. And the guy was talking left-handed, right? I know, like if you're looking for ARs, Stag Arms for sure makes you left-handed, and they make bolt rifles now too that are left-handed. Savage makes the left-handed bolt too, don't they, Scott?
They do. And I found out NRL is National Rifle League. So
okay,
that comes in from my buddy Ivan from Hells Creek Customs. They make suppressor covers. And if you haven't seen them, a lot of stores are carrying them, but check them out on Facebook. Hell Creek Customs.
I have seen them. But my buddy, they're from Furred Up Firearms. He's got them on his I can't remember what social media. I hate to even say it. He might get banned, but yeah.
Exactly. All right.
They look good though.
The rifle best for beginners, the Browning X-Bolt Target Max. I have a version of this rifle in a 22-250. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, my brother-in-law's got a X-Bolt Hell's Canyon 6.5 Creed. That's his deer rifle. Great, real light, nice factory trigger. Barrel comes threaded, and it shoots good. Inch to 3/4 inch, depending on the day and how your heart's beating. We were talking about that off there. But Browning makes some nice factory rifles too. I definitely like it. And this thing looks right. This looks just like you should be sitting on a bench. Big, long, 26-inch stainless steel barrel, right? You got that sniper stock. You can adjust the cheek raise. It looks like on the bottom, it almost looks like it's got a spot where the bag can sit at your stock in the back there. So this looks fun, man. It looks like a great rifle to shoot. I've seen them in stores too.
Well, it says Field and Stream says the best for builders. If you're going to build a rifle, here's what you start with: is the Weatherby Model 307 Range XP, and this, so this. I don't know. There's a lot of calibers you can put in. I mean, you're looking at the Ackley improved, the 280 Ackley, the 6.5 Weatherby RPM, the 7 Rem Mag, 7 PRC. I mean, all the way down to 240 Weatherby. You don't see a lot of 240s anymore.
No, yeah, they do got a ton of chambers. So I find the Model 307. That's the area code in Wyoming, right? And I got the 701 rifle that was built for me. So
yeah.
I don't know who was first, Weatherby or Guns in the 701 coming up with that. I'm going to say it was us.
You better get a trademark.
So it's made as a Rem 700, right? You can modify this which is good, man. I still like the Remington 700 action.
Yeah, their actions are top notch. There's no doubt. A lot of custom guys still use Remington 700 actions. Question comes in here real quick. It says, what type of suppressor would a 357 lever action take? I have a 357 Rossi with 16-inch barrel. So you'd have to you just have to get with the suppressor guy and order one specifically for that.
Right.
which I
And,
would
you know,
with the 357. You'd want to get it as tight of as you can to it. I mean, they're pretty barky type of
yeah,
ammunition.
I know definitely make specific ones for it. I'm having a blank right now. Boy, I mean, I gotta be honest with you, I'm kind of a Yankee Hills can guy because they're affordable and they freaking work good, and they got most of them have a lifetime guarantee. But I know they do have one for for that specific thing.
Yeah.
I'm just escaping me right now.
And there's so many good guys. I've done a lot of work with. Well, I started out with Dakota Silencer, and then I met the Lane LLC down at one of the NRA events we had in Deadwood way a long time ago. Holy cow! I still do business with him. Dickinson, North Dakota's got the rifle, Black Hills Rifle Company or something like that. I think it's called. And there's a lot of different places you can contact. Any of the sporting goods stores around the areas, they can all help you out with that. But yeah, it's worth it.
The one, it's called like I can't remember the company. It might be. It's like the 388 Alaskan or something.
Yeah.
That's the one I see a lot of people are putting on these lever action. The pistol caliber ones or the larger, 45 70s or whatever. So yeah, it's you just have to load.
Gene's getting mad at us.
Is he?
John Wayne shot long distance with a revolver from horseback. Now, the only time I've ever seen that was on TV. How do you know? How do you know?
The real life guy I seen, he's not alive anymore. Bob Munden, and he was in Montana. That guy made some outright amazing shots with his revolver. It was anything really. The guy was unbelievable, but. Yeah, I'm sure he could have shot long range off. I seen him do it, Scott. I think it was like one of them mini revolvers. The guy shot balloons at like 500 yards with the thing. It was crazy. If you look up Bob Munden on YouTube or whatever, I guarantee there'll be all kinds. And he was like a super fast draw when he was younger. The guy was like Joe's, Mr. Blue Chain Lightning. He was that fast. The guy was amazing with firearms.
Yeah, I read a book on. It wasn't a very pro Teddy Roosevelt. It was written by it was written.
Clay said he's a commie. So.
Well, I don't know about that because I didn't meet the guy. But
anyway,
I was reading this book about how he's considered the father of conservation, and I can't remember where. I got to find this again. I know I found it somewhere in I think it was either Spearfish or Belfouche. An antique store. I like going through antique stores. Okay. Yeah. I'm at that age. Okay. But I found this and I was reading it. And it said that according to whoever wrote this book, and I have to find it again, is that Teddy Roosevelt was a terrible shot. And he always had some people with him hunting. And everybody had to take a shot because his eyesight just wasn't very good. So
he had thick glasses.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, he was like when Biden golfed, he'd take a swing off the tee box and 5 other people would do it. He'd just take the best ball, right?
Hey, there's nothing wrong with playing best ball in golf. But if you're going to be shooting a deer, you better do it yourself.
So Teddy, talking real quick, Clay had a story on Mitchell in the Morning there a while back. Teddy ran some cans on his lever guns.
Did he?
Yeah, Teddy was a fan of the can.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Suppressor man, you bet.
Okay, I got to get through. We're almost up against the radio side here, so let's go. The Alaskan 360 Ti for the 357. It's 5.5 ounces. So there's one of the cans you can put on that. That is
light. That's awesome. Okay, I had the Alaskan part right. Thanks for looking it up.
Jay says, I'm not against any of that, just would like to suppress my pistol or a rifle so I can remain on top of my green horse instead of on the bottom side of it.
That's a good idea.
And the same guy, Silencer Company, Silencer Co. Hybrid 36 and 46 are both good for 357 too. So there you go on that. I got to make sure I'm not getting over my time here. So
yeah.
All right. We can continue on the YouTube side. A couple of things come in. It says Federal's new 7mm backcountry cartridge has me itching to open up the wallet for this one. Designed for shorter barrel lengths to be suppressor friendly. Has any experience with this, Jamie? Quite a few rifles available. I haven't heard of that one.
None for me. I've just seen a few guys who got their hands on them and used them, and it's positive. All I've seen was positive feedback on them. So I mean, I'm sorry, that's all I can give you on that. Haven't had any dabbled in it myself, but yeah, it looks feedback I've seen from it looks great.
I like all the feedback we're getting from different companies
Me
and different
too.
things that we're getting out here. That's
Love it.
kind of fun. And one last one here that we can get to here. We Elmer Keith shot a lot of big game from long distances with his revolvers too. So I'm not against it. I'm just saying that I need a lot more practice to go long range for
Oh yeah,
pistols,
for
that's
handgun for sure.
Jamie, we'll continue
yes,
this
sir.
in a little bit. Thanks for coming on the program, buddy. Appreciate you here. Make sure to listen to my radio program. You can catch it on all these great radio stations all week long. Eat some meat, drink some milk, support farmers and ranchers out there and all the private landowners. Wear wool and fur. Have yourself a great Saturday. Enjoy your weekend. That, my friend, is old school back timing.
Perfect.
I don't know if that was live on the radio, that part right there, but if it is, that's old school back timing, ladies and gentlemen. All right.
Nice work.
Let's see. The Weatherby Mark 5 backcountry in 6.5 RPM weighs in at 4.9 pounds naked.
Wow.
Mine weighs in at 6 pounds with scope and bipod. Taking bighorn sheep to bull elk with it. Very impressed with the 6.5 RPM. Yeah, there's so many of these new rounds. I'd love for like say a Shield Sporting Goods, okay, or what's the other one in Rapid City? I think they got bought out. What was Cabela's? They got bought out, I think, by what's the Bass Pro Shop. Yeah, Bass Pro bought them out. You know, it would be nice if they would like, here are 50 new rifles that have just come out in the last year. Come over and take 3 shots in each one of them. I would love to sit down and be able to do that. And could you imagine? I mean, you know, that's kind of probably tough to, I don't know, maybe 5-10 rifles, and then say, okay, we're going to give you, if you want to buy this rifle today, we'll give it to you for like, you know, I mean, it's a used gun. You got shot. Well, every gun you get shot at least 3 times before it leaves the factory. But, you know, I mean, wouldn't that be a nice way to sell some rifles, is to be able to test them first?
You'd think, right? You'd think the rifle companies would be more than happy to get on board with that.
I would think so. You know, I
mean, it ain't like they don't have enough money the way they've been selling them over the last 10 years here with all, you know, and before that when Obama was in, so they got plenty of money.
Well, depends on where they put it all into, you know. I mean, if you got to pay people $20 an hour to, you know, fold boxes for pizza, you got to probably pay them a little bit more to make a rifle.
You got a good point there, Scott.
So I don't know if it's cost effective or not. I don't know what the markup is on rifles as an FFL dealer. I have no idea. I should talk to.
So I can tell you this. I can tell you this about it. I have seen, and Brandon showed me, and a couple other guys, the new rifles, not much, Scott.
Yeah.
I want to say, like, let's just for the sake of it, just say a Ruger American. They're probably making 100, 150 on that.
Yeah. And I suppose like more of the, you jump into the Bergeros, you know, your $2,500 rifles, they're probably only making $50 off of that thing.
Yeah, it's crazy how little they make. I was shocked. And you know, like I said, it's like car business. Like when I worked at Wilhelm, used cars is where the big money came in, really, Scott. The new cars, yeah, did they make money? Of course they did, but not like you could make a haul on them used car sales. So
Jay says, so since I'm going to be up in Bismarck, I should stop by Jamie's and he can set me up with a good horseback coyote gun, or maybe Wayne, since they both have money and time to help ranchers out. So just saying.
That's for sure. Wayne's doing the horseback pistol thing now. He even won the thing. So Wayne's your man there. If you want to talk shooting out of the side-by-side or something, I'm your guy, Jay.
Shooting out of side-by-side. Legally, I don't know if you can say that. Saw a news story that laws on suppressors might be changing.
Yeah. So, you know, they're talking about Pam Bondi, the new attorney general. She's actually, they're reviewing it for 30 days. They think there's something they can do on it. I'm not saying it's coming off the NFA list, but they're going to try and make it a lot easier to get them. So they wouldn't say specifically, but they redid what they said. They said, give us 30 days. We're going to come back with something for you on that. I think something's going to change. Trump promised a lot of changes, and from on the Second Amendment and our gun rights, and it looks like a lot of stuff's going to be coming through here with the. We did all executive actions on it and stuff too, but it looks like something's coming down the pipe for us, Scott. It looks like it's going to be positive. Hopefully on suppress. I know we did an on yesterday to make it easier to get concealed carry permits in DC. So,
well, if there's any place you need to carry, it is DC. Good grief, the highest crime rate per capita, I think, anywhere. But you look at. I just never have understood why a suppressor has to go through a tax stamp and fingerprinting and everything for a suppressor, right? But anything else you want to buy as an accessory for a rifle is no big. Just go ahead and do it, right? I never understood that. In Europe, granted, don't give me Europe's rules on how to own a gun. But the one thing I like about them is they require you to have a suppressor if you're hunting.
Yeah, so what you're talking about also, like if it's a gun or not, remember they said it is, and then it was not, because one of Biden's holdover attorneys said a suppressor is not a firearm, right? Okay, so why is it on the NFA list, like you said, right? It shouldn't even be on the NFA. If it's not a firearm, right, then why the hell is it on there?
Yep, I agree.
It shouldn't be on there.
Yep.
So then they reversed it and said it is a firearm. Okay, well, it's not a full auto, right, which is on the NFA. Then get it off the NFA. It's just like a gun. We should be able to buy them just like guns. So I think, because the ATF can kind of make rules about this stuff, and I think Bondi is going to make them change that some. I don't know how they're going to work it. I'm definitely, obviously, don't have the mind of an attorney, but hope something's going to change, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be for the good here.
Now, hold on, Jamie. You don't have the mind of an attorney. Have you met and seen some of these attorneys?
I don't have the IQ of them, but I certainly have more common sense and live in the world of reality more than most of them do.
I don't even know. I've seen a couple. I don't understand how they passed anything. Right? Book smart.
Yeah, well, like a lot of these judges when they rule stuff, and most people who live in reality can see that a lot of these things these judges do is not. It's unhinged. It's not real. They're making stuff up. They shouldn't even. A lot of these guys shouldn't even be judges. It's unfortunate that they are.
Clay says, I think they're working on being able to purchase suppressors across state lines. Last that he heard, eliminate the residency rule. That'd be nice. That'd be really nice.
Yeah, that's definitely part of it.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine if you could buy a suppressor, like say April 1st, a law goes into effect, no tax stamp, no fingerprinting, nothing. You can buy it as just a regular accessory to your rifle. You would be on a waiting list because they could not machine them fast enough.
Right.
Hey,
I'm down with that. Let's get it, man. I'd have way more.
The price of them will go up, I would think. Because you're used
initially
you're used to paying $250 tax stamp or 200 whatever it is, right? You're used to paying that, and they could be like, well, if they're used to paying that, and it's a supply and demand situation. Honestly, I could go down to Lane LLC right now. Every one of those suppressors is already purchased, and he has 5 or 6 CNC machines going. Right? He's moving and grooving. He's going 7 days a week building these things. Dakota Silencer, even bigger, even larger. You got Silencer Co. You got all these other companies doing these suppressors. Okay. Those are all spoken for. It's not like they have a whole warehouse full of suppressors that's like, okay, if they change the rule and we can sell them, here you go. We got 10,000 of them to go right now. It's going to still be a supply and demand. You might even have to wait longer.
Well, I definitely would buy some. And
I would be down there
like you say,
immediately.
The price would probably go up right away, Scott, because those guys know the demand. But other people would start making them because there'd be less regs on them, and there'd probably be far more availability. So then in the long term, we'd probably get them cheaper, and we wouldn't be paying the government $200 for each one.
Yeah. Well, I'd rather see my extra $200 go to a mom and pop company that builds them themselves than go to government.
For sure. Yeah, well, as many silencers as it's a suppressor, JD, whatever.
Same thing.
The first one is called the patent was put on by Hiram Max, and it was a silencer. So anyway, call them whatever you want. I bought enough of them that the 200 I gave to the government, Scott, I could have probably bought 2 more other suppressors by now. There, I said them both, right?
Yeah.
silencer, suppressor, and I said can before, so I covered the whole gamut.
Better call it a fuel filter.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think, but they can't get it. So I was thinking about this. No matter what Bondi does, you're not going to be able to get it off the NFA. I don't believe, unless they go to court for something, because it was passed through legislation, right? And you can't just poof do away with legislation. That's got to be legislatively. But I'm curious to see what they're going to do. I love cans. I think everybody should have one.
I do
at least one. So do you ever notice the difference in you're shooting them if it's a 30? Let's say you got your 223. Do you notice the difference of the whole size of the noise coming off?
Yes.
Really?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I never have.
The biggest difference I know, because I got 30 caliber cans, and I have one that, I mean, one stays on one, the other one I transfer to every rifle if I switch up. The biggest difference I can tell is my 22-250 using a 30 caliber can is substantially louder than my 28 Nosler using a 30 cal can.
Okay.
Because I mean, the tolerance is so much tighter, and and if you're caliber specific, if you had a 223 suppressor, that would be a nice quiet shooting. But if you're using a 30 cal, you're letting more of that gases and noise out there. Your suppressor's not working how it's supposed to. With tighter tolerances.
I was gonna say you're shooting something with a lot higher pressure than what I'm doing it too. So that could definitely have something to do with it.
It possibly could, but there is a difference. 22-250 is still barks in my ears a little bit when I have a suppressor on it, a 30 cal. Now I should get a more specific can for those lower ones. I really should. That's I'm probably going to talk myself into it today to do that. But
so my buddy Dave here from 1760 Sports, he says 10% markup on new stuff.
10%. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that ain't a whole
lot.
So
yeah, like $1,000 gun, then right? You're gonna get $100.
Get $100 off it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My buddy Wyatt says, you're a pillar of knowledge. I stand corrected. You are no. Thanks, Wyatt.
No, we got the Flath monster calling in here talking to us.
Oh boy, let's go.
So my neighbor happens to have the exact same brand of suppressor that I do in a 223 diameter. And we've been talking about this for about 2 years and haven't ever done it. As long as the wind doesn't come up here crazy, I'm going to get together with him, talk to him, get together with him this afternoon, and put my 22-250 through my 30 cal and through his 223 and see to the ear if I can tell a discernible difference.
Yeah.
And I will report back to you.
I think that you're going to see a big difference. Here, hold on, Jesse. See, I have this phone system. I can bring Wayne Muth. Oh, shit, I just hung up on Jesse. Oh, darn it. Hey, Jesse, call me back. Shh. I forgot. I've never had 3 people at the same time on my phone system.
You really get party line.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so the ones I tested before, I've tested like on a 30 cal can. I've done like 6.5, 223. And my buddy Doug, we've done it too. We haven't noticed the difference. So just to the ear, I'm not saying if we had a decibel meter, it would be different. But I'm saying to our ear, we couldn't tell the difference. And I've done it at my dad's place with a Creed and a 220. But then again, I said those are lower pressure cartridges, right? You were shooting the 22 Nosler or whatever, and 27 Nosler and that. So
yeah,
I'm curious to see what Jesse.
Well, Wayne's on with us now, so.
Okay.
We'll get
hey guys, how's it going?
We'll get Jesse back here. There. Hold on, Wayne. I'm gonna get Jesse locked in too. All right. All right, we got
to go number 45.
Hey, this is the first time I've had like 4 people on the same damn line. All right, so Wayne, you go first.
All right. I have, and Jesse may be able to help answer this. I have a Diamondback. It's a 223 5.56. And it has this California restriction BS on it where you have to break the barrel, and to get the clip out, the magazine
Yeah,
out.
bullet button.
Really?
Can you get that modified?
So now, do you have to actually take the pin and tip the upper forward, or does the button that you usually push to get the mag out have a button inside of it that you have to push with something to get it to go?
Now you push the button once you break the barrel, and then it releases so that you can push that button to get your magazine to drop out. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at it that close to see what's all incorporated in that, but just seems
It depends on what it is.
Weird.
Jamie, you're still on, right?
Yep, I'm here, Jesse.
So I know what
I've
the
never
bullet
dealt
button
with
looks
those.
like, where the break action deal where you got to actually from the lower. You might want to call Jamie and get together with him, since you guys are both in Bismarck, and Jamie does a lot of AR work.
Yeah.
If it's modifiable to get that crap out of there, Jamie will figure it out.
Yeah, you should bring it by sometime, Wayne. Let's have a look at it. I've never dealt with that. I know they make, like, some companies make like little gadgets to make it more easy to drop your magazine out. I've seen them before, but yeah, I totally forgot about the bullet button thing down there. Yeah, bring it by. I'd be curious, Wayne, or if anything, drop it off for me, and I'll monkey around with it for you and see what I can figure out.
Yeah,
I'd be more than happy
yeah.
to.
It's the first AR style I've bought. I figured, well, I really didn't need one, but they're sure fun to shoot. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Josh,
It's a lot less fun when you got to disassemble half the gun to reload it.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the listeners says, take it to Bloodline Kinetics.
Sure,
Bloodline
I can take it
Kinetics.
over. I had a couple barrels cut over there at Bloodline. They're good guys.
Yeah. And Ivan says you can get a 22 caliber end cap for a 30 caliber silencer central, and use that too, so to quiet it down. So it'd be interesting, Jesse, if you do get a chance to do it side by side. There is an app you can get on your phone that'll go through decibels, and it'll rate it for see which one is quieter. Right. So that'll be interesting.
There's a bunch.
I'll see if I can get together with Thomas this afternoon and get that finally done.
Yeah,
Jesse, you know what, you should video that actually.
I could potentially do that. Not going to really be able to tell on the video, but
no, I'm just saying it'd be just.
Ken, if
one of you has the decibel meter, and then the other guy. I'm making it more complicated for you. Just do it and let us know.
Says the guy having a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So you guys want to hear something fun? When I open up my YouTube, just on my computer, go into my page. I got, things that I've recently searched always pop up. And then if it's something that's interesting, you start getting more of these things. And I have only maybe watched one of Jamie's shorts that he always does when he first started this whole thing. And now he's on my damn main screen for some reason with no shirt on. What the hell?
Yeah. Is that something you want to look at in the morning?
I had to when I opened my YouTube channel up this morning.
Oh, goodness.
Wow. Hey, there's no bad publicity, man.
Well, I
don't know about that.
I'm kidding. I don't know. I'm glad it's popping up. So,
all right, boys, I gotta go. I'm going to Napa to get boat parts. I gotta get things ready.
Okay.
All right, Jesse. See you, buddy.
Did he say getting boat parts?
So Jesse he updated his fishing boat. He bought a different fishing boat, and it's a little bit longer, a little bit wider than the old one, and he is getting it ready to go for fishing this summer. He's just jacked about it, so he's going and getting that all done. Yeah,
sweet.
Yeah. I always tell myself I'm going to get my boat out of storage early so I can fish the river early. And it ends up that it's May before I get my boat out. It's terrible, And now actually this week I'm going to go pick up a couple horses, believe it or not. And now we got to start some more training on these things. So we'll have to see how things go. But
damn, retirement sits well for you, my friend.
Well, a lot of people say once you retire, you're more busy.
Yeah, you sure? Well, you get to do things that you want to do. That's for sure.
Right. And not even really busy then. So yeah, I mean,
it's
Right.
just having fun, but you do make more work for yourself. There's no doubt. You do.
So
But,
Brian,
I'd like to come down and shoot some coyotes now at Scott. That'd be fun.
Plenty of them. There's plenty. I actually have to probably make a trip to Runnings here one of these days to get some more ammunition. That's how much I'm going through. And I have a stockpile of 6.5 Creed 129 SSTs, and I am going through them. I mean,
that's what you're blasting them with, huh? So I know that SST. I've shot a couple of coyotes with that SST. It wasn't the super performance like you got. It was just a straight, SST. And a couple of them coyotes, it didn't even go through them. It blew up right inside them. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it depends on where you hit them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what you got me on that, Scott. That SST, that 129s, and I love them. I shot them for deer and had great luck with them. I went to the 140 grains and I thought, holy cow, they're so slow. They just seem so much slower than that 129s, and just visibly are.
I've had good luck with them, so I mean, I know it works, so I stick with it, and they just shoot really good through my rifle, and that's.
I was just going to ask you, not that you're a group weirdo like me, but when you shoot at 100 yards, what kind of group you get? Do you think?
Geez, the last time I shot that rifle at 100 yards was to make sure that my scope was still on, and I don't know. At 100 yards, I would say it with that rifle. If I can't put a dime over the top of those three, I would be shocked.
Because every time I've ever shot super performance ammo, be it 223s or Creeds, my personal experience, the group sucked.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't know.
So
why.
did you?
Go ahead, Wayne.
Scott, is that Savage 110?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I've got the same rifle, Savage 110 with a bull barrel, and it's got that AccuTrigger.
Yep.
And just tack driving, absolutely tack driving. And I tell you, it's a great coyote gun. But Scott, you should have lots of ammo. If you don't miss, if you've shot only like 29 or so or whatever, that's just a box and a half of shells. I mean, why would you be running out?
Oh, I missed plenty, Wayne. There's no doubt.
Oh, there you go, right, Scott? The scope doesn't guarantee a hit.
I'm telling you this right now. When I did that 1,024-yard shot, I reloaded that. I reloaded my 4-place mag twice to hit that. So I'm not saying it was the first damn shot.
Okay.
That's a small target at over 1,000 yards.
There's a long ways away.
Yeah.
And that Burris scope.
I don't know if I would even try it.
With that Burris scope, I was the very bottom of that scope was where that red dot was. And I mean, I had it like the crosshairs were so high up in the air. It was like not even like it was just silly, but yeah, I enjoyed it. Let's get to some of these messages. Okay.
Yeah.
Brian says, I'm that one creepy subscriber that Jesse has on YouTube, so I'm waiting for a video. Waylon Turner says maybe Jamie should do the boxers, be a model for the boxers in coming up here April 24th at Boxers and Beer.
I'm not going to get skinny enough by April 24th.
You don't need to be no damn skinny person. This is the thing. It's all shapes and sizes, but Crown Dental should sponsor you. Or Guns in the 701, you should put one together and do this. You want to talk about in front of all these women, you could be promoting what you're doing. Guns in the 701, have a little fun, raising money for the cancer center. Good grief,
just
guys.
Put the website right on the belly and over the love handles there my dad bought. Right?
Just have fun with it. Last year, Jamie, last year, the first guy that came out had triple heart bypass surgery. Like a month before, he had the big scar. He had a big beer belly on him. He was 80 years old, and he came out in boxer shorts and had a blast. Okay? It's not about what you look like. It's about what you're raising money for.
All right, I got you.
Jamie, I got a pair of chaps that you could wear and just wear a little, boxer briefs or something, or
no, I'd go assless, man.
Well, that's what these are. They're assless. There ain't no button these. You just got the front's open, just covers your legs. It'd be a perfect little get up.
Okay, I'll put the banana hammock on and wear those and get after it, man.
Yeah. All right, so back to more of the messages. David Fettig says, I'm a bit behind the conversation. I've always told people that use cans with multi-caliber end caps to make the smaller caliber cap a different color than the can to prevent any of the oops, I just shot a big round through the end of a cap here. So
Yeah.
I've never heard of these caps. I never even checked that out. I didn't know
Oh,
that
yeah.
was an option.
My buddy's got a Griffin armament. It goes up to, I think it goes from whatever to 30 cal. Yeah, he was getting ready for deer season, had his 223 end cap on. He shot and it sounded weird. And like, what was that? And then he's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yep, blew a hole right through his 30 cal.
Okay, so Josh says
Well, you can.
he says I've never had any luck getting super performance to group either. I don't think my rifles like the higher velocity. So the 129 SSTs shoot really, really good through my 1.25 inch bull barrel rifle. Okay. The 140 was a 143s, I think it was, shot terrible. So I went back to the SSTs. But that's it. Now I know some people that the 143 that they shoot way better than the 129s, and so I don't know. I've had good luck with it, so I'm sticking with that. Jeremy says about the NFA, there isn't much in the official record-wise silencers. They're also called them mufflers. So they had to make clear what they weren't outlawing once for engines were included. Scary gangster stuff there. So the original definition of a machine gun was held more than anything more than 12 rounds and was full auto or semi-auto back then. Jeez.
Huh. Okay.
So when you talk about the suppressors and the end caps, through silencer code, they have the end caps that come off that give you the different thread, either the 9/16 or the 5/8, I believe. You could change whichever you needed for your barrel. So that end cap, there's a piece that just needed replaced, so you had the right threads to thread it on, rather than having an adapter on your rifle. You can
I see.
You have different ones there. So that's really nice. That's really nice.
Yeah, now I see what you're talking about here. I just looked them up finally. Okay, so that's not going to work with either of mine. I can't take mine apart like this. So.
Yeah, I don't have any with the removable end cap. So
yeah, it's a good idea though. I like that idea.
And I talked to the guys from Silencer Co. and they said you do not have to clean them. That's what they've said, unless I think maybe if you guys do because you shoot a lot more than I do. But yeah, they said you do not have to clean these, so that was really interesting as well. I thought.
Yeah, I definitely. I know Scott. I think Scott and Jesse. I told you guys I listened to the guy from Silencer Shop, and he said the only suppressors he cleans is 22s. He said he never cleans any other ones ever.
Yeah, I think if you use them like an AR, I mean you're going to get more buildup quicker. I think, but on just a regular bolt gun, I don't know if you're gonna.
I mostly shoot AR, and I don't notice that. You will get more blowback, obviously, but I actually have. They're making another called shoot through suppressors. I don't have an actual shoot through, but my Yankee Hill, they redesigned the baffles so you don't get as much blowback, and it does keep it cleaner. I will say that.
Okay.
I think Huxworks makes the shoot throughs or blow throughs, whatever you want to call them, and they're louder though, right? They're louder. I know.
Yeah.
My buddy, I was talking at Bird Up Firearms. He says, "No, they don't work. I tried them. He's got the class 3. That's BS. It doesn't work." Well, I ended up buying, like you said, the Yankee Hill one, and I said, it kept it cleaner, and it was still quiet. And then that's when actually Jake from Bloodline told me, he's like, well, it's not a true flow through you got, but yeah, if it works, by all means. So if you're going to use an AR can, look up the Turbo T3 Yankee Hill. No, I don't. I wish Yankee Hill sponsored us, but that'll be my recommendation for a 22 center fire.
So, Jamie, have you ever put a decibel meter on your suppressors and see what they are?
I haven't, Wayne, and it's pure laziness because I do have app downloaded on my phone for it, and I've never done it. I should. It's just something. It's a good thing, actually. I can do a video on you when it gets nice out.
I tried it when I got my suppressor, and I used my 300 Win Mag, and I shot it without, and it was like 141 decibels. And they said if you can get it down to 130 or 125, that's what they would expect. This was down to like 109 to 114 on multiple shots. So I was really suppressed. Now this is an app on your phone, and I don't know how accurate it is, but it's the same comparison. It's the same app that I used to shoot it without as with. So you'd think it would be the same comparison. So I was really impressed.
These apps are pretty darn good. I mean, it's not like buying a separate meter, but it's all digital. Like, I mean, I think it's pretty darn accurate.
I agree with you, Scott.
Right.
I think they are. So Wayne and I have the same can he's talking about, right? The silencer co-harvester you shot. Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. When I use that, I have it on a bolt action 223. To me, when I always say it, it's almost comical how quiet it is. I love shooting that thing on there. That's a great suppressor.
Yeah. I know when Austin shot his moose, I was videotaping it, and it was just a couple plinks. It sounded like it wasn't much at all. It was pretty impressive.
It's the way it should be. It's the way it should be.
Well, all right, guys. I tell you what, I'm gonna get off here. I got to get rolling out. We're gonna do the challenge here at 11. I'm gonna get out there. I got stuff to load up. So, Scott, appreciate you having me on, man. This was fun. I had a blast.
You bet. Have a good day today, guys. We'll catch you guys later.
You bet. See you, Wayne.
Yeah, thanks, Scott. Have a good one.
You bet.
You bet.
Okay.
All right. You bet. Okay. Yep. Bye-bye.
All right, YouTube channel. Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys being on here. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate you guys. Everybody that weighed in here today. So good discussion. Good stuff. Have yourself a good day. Enjoy everything. Have a good weekend.